Jen, thanks. Now the latest now as President Donald Trump's deportation efforts continue to ramp up. Here at home, 2 lawmakers are looking for a way to help with that process.
Now their focus is the Niagara Falls Air Reserve Station as a way to provide transport. Channel 2's Ron Plant says their suggestion went out in a letter to the Defense Secretary.
The Niagara Falls Air Base has those 9,000-plus foot runways now used by the huge KC-135 tanker planes. But a source also tells us they could easily handle the Air Force C-17 jet transports pressed into service recently for deportation flights for immigrants now deemed to be illegal after being rounded up by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents under orders from the Trump administration. Representatives Langworthy and Tenney feel the airbase would be a good staging site with perhaps temporary housing for any detainees and then as a point of departure for such flights. Maybe to ease a bad space crunch at the ICE detention facility in nearby Batavia, its only northeastern U.S. site, or the other local jails in the region used as detention space under contract with the federal government.
To have an asset deployed for their use to use in this mission right here in our backyards.
The 2 members of Congress also say there could be upwards of 750,000 such individuals in New York City alone, with 58,000 listed as convicted felons or facing criminal charges, so they fear local facilities would be overwhelmed with a public safety concern. As Tenney puts it, quote, maximizing every available resource is crucial to carrying out President Trump's executive orders to detain and remove illegal aliens swiftly and efficiently, particularly those who pose security risk to our country. A source tells us the base would have sufficient room for additional temporary housing in a securely guarded location.
It certainly would require additional funding for the DOD to open up space at the Air Reserve Station for Homeland Security to use for ICE, and that's something that we would be prepared to push ahead for and work towards.
NBC News reports some previously arrested immigrants were actually released on an electronic monitoring system with housing space constraints. They also report ICE is only funded for 41,500 beds nationwide. Now, a source says the civilian side of Niagara Falls Airport, sparsely operated by the NFTA for charter flights, was used for some sort of inmate transports in the past. And by the way, I actually saw one such flight in the late 1990s. Also, Guantanamo Naval Base in Cuba, that might be used for detainees as well. On your side, Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.